It's week 6 of the National Football League, and we'll see Bryce Young. He's going to have to air it out plenty this week. It's the Panthers and the Falcons, next on Madden Football.
Just a spectacular afternoon for football here in the Tar Heel state of North Carolina as EA Sports welcomes you inside Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they enter play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, we're in October now, so everybody. Set to go now in week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So the Falcons make their way out behind their new quarterback for 2024, signed back in March, the veteran Kirk Cousins.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
And complete to Drake London. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Cousins. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
From the gun, here's Cousins. And this will be caught by Mooney. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Add this game to the last one, and they moved the ball over 50 yards in 2 plays. Well, only 3 plays in here, but really, Charles, a solid start for this offense, and now we'll see if they can continue their mission to end this drive in 6.
And I wonder.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Bijan Robinson, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Falcons are on the board first here this afternoon. You'd have to imagine for a team that's lost 3 straight games, scoring first in this first quarter has to feel pretty good.
That's feel great for them, and also it's a nice signal to the rest of the team, because we talk about complimentary football all the time. So they've now signaled to the defense, now signaled to the kicking game, hey, we're here to play in this one. We're going to do our part. Let's see if you guys will do the exact same, and we can break this losing streak.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it was Bijan Robinson who took it home with a touchdown run. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Panthers head out for their initial drive, and at the helm is their 2nd-year quarterback now, the number 1 overall pick from 2023, Bryce Young.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel, doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
And a very elusive run as he'll wind up getting about 9 on that one. The numbers for Brooks a week ago. 23 carries, a trip to the end zone to go along with 118 yards.
Just an excellent performance from them on the ground last week, and that speaks to an offense that is operating at a high level on all fronts. Of course, That man running the ball, he's just seeing the field so well. But don't forget about his offensive line. They've really asserted their will out there and are confident they can repeat it again this week.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 35.
Well, so often now we're praising tight ends for their nimbleness and how they catch the ball downfield. But occasionally we get a reminder that tight ends, they've got that tough guy aspect too. How about him catching that short one there, shaking off tacklers, and turning that into an expansive gain downfield.
Slot man moves right. To throw, Young. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Adam Thielen, his second touchdown on the season. And the Panthers are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that, so he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. On the counter, this is Robinson. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time. Throwing on 2nd and long. Cousins. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Now Cousins. He'll get this complete to Rondale Moore. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down. In motion goes the tight end. To throw is Cousins. That one out wide and intercepted. And the Panthers will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. They'll start following the interception in great field position at the 45. They'll start on the ground with Brooks. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Here is 3rd and 5.
Brings up 3rd down and 5.
Young now from the 50. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up 4th.
I wonder, Brandon, I just wonder, you think maybe he was worried about where he was on the field? Was he far enough? Was he close enough to the first down sticks?
Absolutely. He was right there by him, and I think he was thinking first down before he caught that football.
Yeah, got to catch it first, because if you don't catch it, there's no chance of picking up a first down.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. But not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
Robinson up the middle. Oh, able to avoid him. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. They'll run again here with Robinson. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Here's Bradley Pena now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And a fair catch called for and taken right on the midfield stripe. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. On 1st and 10, it's Brooks. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Now here's a whistle as flags come in. And we'll check out the call.
False start.
Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. In motion left, that's Thielen. Out of the gun, it's Young. He'll find the former Steeler, Deontay Johnson. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Off the play fake, Young. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. David Onyemata drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Cousins. Under pressure, and down he goes. DJ Rodham got off his spot quickly and got to the quarterback.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Into the hands of London. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. Now we'll pause for an injured player. And that's wide receiver Drake London who's shaken up.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. This is taken at the 23. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return.
And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. The Carolina offense about ready to go. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there, 2nd down. Now Young.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete. You talk about this Falcon defense.
There are 32 teams in the NFL, and they're just better than 50% of them at defending the pass, number 16 in the league.
So I'm prepping for this game. I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And?
Too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
Looked like they were set up defensively in a zone coverage, but somehow they found a seam because that receiver all alone. By rights, that should have been a touchdown, but somehow this ball's overthrown.
And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Falcons will be taking over, 1st and 10. Here's Cousins.
That pass complete to Moore.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
They'll run this one right with Robinson. It's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44.
17 yards and a 1st down for Atlanta.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3-and-out.
And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Cousins to throw it.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
Got this complete to the tight end, Pitts.
A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here.
They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Cousins now. He finds Robinson. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the 1st. They get him to the ground at the 37. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down. Cousins again. And it's going to be batted down. And we'll go the other way with the football. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Panthers will get the football back.
4th down, and they take to the air, which really isn't a major surprise. But how about the coverage? They're able to bat it down.
The possession of the football goes over to Carolina.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
They'll stay on the ground with Brooks.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
The tight end in motion right.
Young going to give to Brooks.
And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field.
The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. 2nd down and 4. Straight ahead with Hubbard.
And he'll get this down only to about the 46.
You talk about this Falcon defense.
They come into play number 12 in the NFL against the run.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
Now, after the false start, they need 8 yards here on 3rd down. Now Young.
He'll get this complete to the rookie first-round pick.
And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 33.
7-7, our score after 1.
Second quarter now from Charlotte, and it's the Panthers with the football. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10, down at the 33.
Up the middle with Brooks here.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
The Panthers at 2-3 here to begin the new season. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset, being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. And I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Young to throw it.
And that went to the right side and incomplete.
The 3rd down battle won by Atlanta's defense. Solid coverage.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
Now here's Young.
And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Yeah, he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
3rd and 8.
From the shotgun, it's Young.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Panthers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Here is Young. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers.
Xavier Leggett.
A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Panthers have taken the lead.
A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Atlanta regains possession of the football. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they get this game tied up.
But whatever they called on defense, they made sure they were ready for the pass on that snap, made the proper adjustments, and helped force an incompletion.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. He'll fire deep, looking for more. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That's a really good job in execution. They avoided the flag downfield and avoided giving up yardage for free. Really good coverage.
Cousins. That is caught, and he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. Somebody missed an assignment. He was waving his arm saying, hey, I'm wide open. They found him.
You think? You think? I mean, he was so wide open. Did you see he was just windmilling like he was Don Quixote or somebody out there? And then they found him for a really nice gain.
Play fake. Cousins. This pass is caught by London. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Now we'll pause for an injured player, and that's wide receiver Drake London who's shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. To the air again, it's Cousins. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Makes it second and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Throwing is Cousins. On the throw led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
What will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. DJ Waddle. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Fourth down, and the attention turns to Falcon kicker Younghoe Koo. From the right hash, this from 48. Koo knocks this one through the post, and they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So here are the Panthers set to take over. They were winners a week ago over the Bears, and they lead things here as well as they start this drive with a 1st and 10. And the tight end goes in motion left. They go play action. Young. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Lorenzo Carter from that outside linebacker spot gets in there. It's a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. 3rd down and 10.
So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out, and a 5-yard penalty. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Here's Young from the shotgun. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
So on now is Johnny Hecker to punt this one away. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly.
And it will be Falcon football. Atlanta prepped and readied for its next possession.
And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Play action now. Cousins.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
Now Cousins. And that will be incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10.
Now the offense for the Panthers here getting the football back. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. And they'll start on the ground with Hubbard, and he'll get this to the 32.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The offense on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Young. In trouble, and he's taken down.
Disrupting that play and dropping him was Arnold Ebiketie. But found his way into the backfield, and he simply would not be denied.
Well, they say that life's all about opportunities, and that holds true when you're playing defense as well. How about him seeing that chance, making the most of it, did a great job of wrapping him up and bringing him down.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. They start on the ground with Robinson here. Oh, look at the juke. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
46 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Very nice run there. And when you think of the term complete back, Bijan Robinson is one of the first guys that comes to mind. He's coming off an impressive rookie season, but the scary part for NFL defenses, he's just scratching the surface.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Back to Robinson now on 1st down.
And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
Cousins now from the 50.
That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. And we'll get a pause here. There appears to be a Panther who is shaken up on that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
To throw, Cousins. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Robinson, he'll try the left side.
Oh, nice move. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Working out of the gun, Cousins.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Here's Cousins.
That is incomplete.
That play call wasn't there for them against that coverage. So they're going to spin the dial now in their playbook and come up with one more shot at the marker to try and keep this series going.
To throw is Cousins. And that is incomplete.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13.
So the margin shrinks a bit as back-to-back drives here for him, and with field goals.
Yeah, we know no one's turning down 3, especially in the first half, but you've got to finish these drives in the end zone. That's got to be a priority. Nice to have a reliable kicker, but outside of his agent, you know you'd rather him kick 1-pointers instead of 3-pointers.
And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return.
And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go.
As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
So many things have to go right for any passing play to work out. Quarterback has to understand the defense, deliver an accurate ball. Receiver has to concentrate and bring it in. Somewhere along the assembly line, something was off with that one.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
The Falcons offense and Kirk Cousins getting ready for this next possession. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances, and he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football.
Cousins.
Here's a screen for Robinson.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Now Cousins. He'll get this into the hands of Hodge. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Cousins.
Short throw caught by Pitts.
Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside. On now to punt, here's Bradley Pinion.
This is taken at the 18. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Looking to throw, Young. And this is incomplete.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
3rd down, Young from the gun.
That one complete to Leggett.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Panther 1st down. Young to throw it.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
The slot man in motion right. Now Young. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. He's got his target. That's complete.
The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Young.
Got a man. That's Leggett.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards.
Now a 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
Young to throw it.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Looking right side, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Mike Hughes. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this 1st half. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And with just 4 seconds left in this 1st half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. On the left hash, this from 48 yards.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And they have regained the lead.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So we have reached halftime here in a tight 2-point contest. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. More from you and Charles in a bit. But first, time for a look around the NFL to see what's going on here in the late window. We'll get started over at the Superdome in New Orleans, where you see the final score there. Chris Olave, a touchdown catch in the victory. From there, we head up to the Pacific Northwest. Check on the Seahawks at home in Seattle. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting San Francisco 49ers. Jackson Smith-Njigba, a touchdown catch in the victory. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they were winners in that ball game as they beat the visiting Washington Commanders. Rashad Bateman, a touchdown catch in the victory. It was a former Longhorn, Bijan Robinson, who was tough to stop in that first half. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break. We saw a couple of high-octane offenses getting it done in the first half. Both teams had no problems moving the football. And you'd have to think, the team whose defense shows up in the second half is going to be the one who walks out of here with a victory.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Well, now you look down there, you see Rashad Penny in some discomfort. So we're going to get an injury stoppage here, at least for the moment. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 5 catches for him in that first half, and that's number 6 that we just saw, and also a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Young now from the 50. Short throw to the tight end Thomas. And we'll get a pause here. There appears to be a Panther who is shaken up on that last play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. From the 47 now, they'll work with a 2nd and 7. A give up the middle, Hubbard. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 11 yards and a Panther first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
And they'll run on first down with Hubbard. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And we'll get a pause here. There appears to be a Panther who is shaken up on that last play. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. And they'll go again here with Hubbard. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. 2nd down and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Young now. And that'll be incomplete. A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. Now here's Young.
This one incomplete. Almost picked off by the rookie, but he couldn't quite look it in. And now it's 4th down.
Now here's the Panthers special teams unit to try a field goal for 3. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is indeed good, and they have regained the lead. Now, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Falcons offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they find themselves down on the scoreboard following the field goal a moment ago.
And I think even though they trail in the game now, I would consider that a win for their defense, and that's probably what they're telling the offense when they get to the bench. Hey, the onus is on you guys now. Get back out there and get us the lead back.
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line.
A gain of 13 yards. And the Falcon first down.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. And they'll send the tight end in motion. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And a dump off here to Robinson. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd down at the 50-yard line.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins.
Looking deep here for Mooney.
It's caught at the 10. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 45 yards.
When teams practice their plays during the week, they're hoping that it's going to pay off on game day. So it sure has to feel good for them when they hit them during a game, and they hit that one there for big yardage.
Cousins again.
Checks this one down to Robinson.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra that extra emphasis on it got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
Here's another 2nd and goal, this time from half the distance closer.
Robinson will get down close to the goal line, but not in, as he'll be marked down at the 1.
This Carolina defense looking to keep him out of the end zone once more. 3rd and goal. Throwing is Cousins. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Strong coverage by Carolina, and on we go to 4th down. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
And this winds up a disaster, nowhere near the marker. They stop him up short on 4th and goal from the 1. And the Panthers defense able to deliver the goal line stand. The Panthers offense and Bryce Young headed back onto the field. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Second down, another chance for Hubbard.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. On 3rd down, here's a run by Hubbard.
Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Well, that was a 3rd and long run, and to me, that was just a wave the white flag kind of a situation. Obviously, they don't want to risk the chance of throwing it downfield and risking a turnover in this section of the field.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for Carolina. And he's able to get it out of there. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. The Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already.
The visitors' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Cousins now. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
Here comes Chuba Hubbard. Let's take a closer look at him.
He's had a good 3rd quarter. He likes whatever adjustments were made at halftime, whether those were team adjustments or just him talking to himself.
And whatever that conversation was, it was pretty good because he is running really well here in the 3rd quarter. But I like to think it is a team adjustment. Offensive line, those big escorts of his, they figured out how to block a little bit better, and he's found those holes to run through.
He has indeed.
2nd down, another chance for Hubbard.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
61 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
And some guys just have that knack of finding the 1st down flag and getting there. Hubbard did it very well on that carry, and he did it really well last season. 59 1st down runs a year ago.
Boy, that was pretty. Sidestepping defenders on his way to a pickup of 9 yards.
From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd down and 1.
They'll motion the tight end across the formation. They'll try to throw now. Young steps away to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a first down.
And he'll work down inside the 45.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Over the middle, complete. It's Johnson. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
They'll try and run for this with Hubbard.
And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the third quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and that will bring up 2nd down.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 30-yard line.
Young. And he slings one that's incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Young. Rifling one complete into the hands of Marshall. Touchdown, Panthers.
Terrace Marshall,
His first touchdown on the year.
and the Panthers are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter.
What a great drive that was. A long drive, sustained, well executed.
I love what we're seeing out of him here in year 2, right? This young quarterback continues to evolve and grow. He's really the adage right now that John Wooden, the famous basketball coach, used to say. Be quick, but don't hurry. You can see that everything is happening for him, but he's not taking it at a pace that he can't sustain.
And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And we're back now in Charlotte.
Here's 2nd and 10.
It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the fourth.
And this will be caught by Mooney.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Cousins.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away.
A nice punt, but a good run back as well of 13 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Panthers offense had Chuba Hubbard set to take over once more. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout.
Young will set to throw. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
At the 46-yard line.
On the counter, this is Hubbard.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
And this is the worry because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important third down.
And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's a second down and 4.
At the Falcons' 36-yard line.
On the handoff, it's Hubbard.
And he gets it down to the 32.
92 yards on the ground for Hubbard as that last run a first down.
That's good for a Panthers first down.
Throwing, Young.
And quickly to Thielen here.
And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field.
Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Here's a 2nd and 5.
It's Young off play action. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
In motion, the tight end. To throw, Young.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 15-yard line. The third down conversion successful. A gain of 11. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's the give to Hubbard.
Oh, no, he lost the football.
But it looks like one of the DBs has it.
And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Well, now hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. A give running right, it's Hubbard.
He showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. They'll bring a tight end in motion right. Looking to throw, Young. A quick throw, but incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Give them a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
A 38-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
So that CD, an important one here in the fourth quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a two-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a two-score game, and they were able to get it done.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a two-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Throw over the middle, going to be caught here by Pitts.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
Throwing, Cousins.
Going for Kyle Pitts again. He's got him again.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
Another first down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Now flags come flying in. One of the Falcons moved early. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun.
Gets around him, and a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
There's so many definitions of a complete back. I think most people think a guy who can block, a guy who can catch, and a guy who can run. But how about when you put it all together as a runner and you can fake people out, you can be shifty, and also run with some power and break tackles, as we just saw on that pickup. And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half.
And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the first on the 35-yard stripe. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field.
Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
A 52-yard attempt.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And that'll make this an 8-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Carolina getting set to take the field.
Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10.
Out of the gun, it's Young.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
A short throw hauled in by Trimble.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 7.
Here is Young. And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
That looked great when he first took off because in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. Here's 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 21-yard line.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he'll take this to about the 24, a gain of 3.
The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. Oh, with a juke. Oh, and now some space to operate.
Another miss.
Still on his feet.
13 yards, the tally on the return there. And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Young working out of the gun. Complete. It's Johnson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies.
They'll run out of the gun. It's Hubbard. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain. 2nd down.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now. And here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
On the give, this is Hubbard.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning.
At the 14-yard line.
2nd down, another chance for Hubbard.
He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Young to throw. That's complete right around the 8. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away.
Hubbard is into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown.
And that right there is a definition of a statement drive. You're in the 4th quarter, trying to get to the finish line, and here they were able to hold the ball for a long time and move it down the field. And how about them finishing it off with the touchdown run? Winning football 101, check that box.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 15 now. So this drive spans 7 plays.
And it was Chuba Hubbard who finished it off with a touchdown run.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
So Kirk Cousins in the offense, down by 15. A little under a minute 50 remaining. A fourth straight defeat looming on the horizon, barring a comeback here as they've got it with a first down. Cousins.
That's caught by Pitts.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. To throw is Cousins. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
And now defensively in the 2-minute drill, the big key to me, make sure you understand your assignments, and anytime you get a chance to tackle someone in bounds, get them on the ground.
Here's Cousins. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down.
We'll get a pause here. There appears to be a Panther who is shaken up on that last play. This crowd turning up the decibel level. It's 3rd and long. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least it'll be 4th down.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field.
And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Straight ahead with Hubbard, and he's got it down to the 28.
The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining.
He's going to get it again, just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Young now.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Panther first down. And it is celebration time on that sideline, and they've earned it.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the 4th quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage, because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
Charles, we were treated to an excellent game today, capped off by that second-half comeback. This was a joy to watch.
Entertaining for us, not so much to the team who led at halftime and now is leaving here knowing that they let a win slip through their fingers. Tough one for them to carry home.
So for the Panthers, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down.
And they will hit the road next week to take on the Washington Commanders.
Meanwhile, for Atlanta, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.